Hi, I'm Amanda. Welcome back to Dream Focus. The symbol that we're going to be looking at this week is crack. Now, I'm not talking about the drug. You can do a little bit of research into that if that's what comes up for you, but I'm really thinking about cracks in walls, cracks in surfaces of some kind, because this is something that's coming up a lot for me right now. And Dream Moods, one of my favorite resources personally for getting just some like stimulation and some ideas starting to move around on some of these symbols. They say that like a crack can relate to imperfections and a reminder that nobody is perfect and these kinds of things. I could see how that plays into some of the visions that I'm currently like having of with cracks kind of showing up. But I also feel like what's coming through for me with a crack is like a crack leading to some kind of potential, like the beginning of entering into the unknown. Knowing that it may be tying back into this perfect thing, knowing that even though it isn't always obvious or clear, that we're beginning to uncover new information and new things, and we have to kind of squeeze our way into these cracks and begin to allow ourselves to feel totally new things and to move into spaces that we have never experienced before, and knowing that that's not going to be totally perfect, knowing that we're not going to understand everything, but recognizing that that's okay and that there's more to uncover, and making time eventually to open up those cracks and tap into that knowledge, and knowing that the answers aren't always going to be totally obvious at first. The questions won't even totally be obvious at first, but really feeling into those openings and those spaces, that potential that is there, because sometimes it is just a sliver. Because with all of these things, with the intuition that we get, with all these little inklings, these hints that lead us from one thing to the next, we don't always have like the full picture. We don't always have like a clear guidance, a clear indication. And sometimes we really do just get that sliver, that little tiny bit of information, but we have to extrapolate on that. We have to like move into that crack and expand it and see what else is there, and not be afraid, even if it's just a small sliver, knowing that there might be more that's going to come through and more that's going to emerge, and not getting down on feeling that some of our accomplishments or some of the information that we're beginning to receive when we're desperately and like deeply looking for answers, that small bit of information might be much bigger than we think that it is. Those cracks are meaningful. Those cracks are the beginnings of expansion of consciousness, of allowing you to actually really start to shine. And that's the thing. Sometimes it is about those cracks beginning to break old ways of thinking and old shields and things that are kind of have been holding you back and keeping you down, and the cracks being the beginning of something. Cracks as beginnings, allowing you to see what's underneath and see what's inside, and really start to move into that more and more. It's actually full of hope, even though in the beginning it might seem like nothing. Feel into the cracks, move into the cracks, and slowly wedge your way in and crack it open for more. Ooh. Okay, that's what's coming up with the crack. Trying to allow the messages to flow a little bit today in a little bit of a different way. So I hope that you found something here. If you're also getting some intuitions around what a crack can mean, if it's showing up in your dreams or your visions, then feel free to let me know in the comments below, whatever this brought up for you. I'm going to rewatch this video and get some extra insights, because as I'm sharing like this, I just try to let myself flow as much as possible. And so sometimes I don't even know like what's like all coming out. So I'm going to rewatch this and get some extra insight for myself. And I look forward to seeing you in another dream symbol next week. Thanks.